Yo, 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 what it do? It's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for this full moon in Sagittarius that we are having today. Yes, I know that this is late technically for the Patreon subscribers. Mama's been busy living life, transforming, being reborn, being killed, being resurrected, being stripped. And that's exactly what full moons do. They're a period of release, and Sagittarius is a sign of I understand. So there's something here about an old understanding, an old philosophy, an old knowing that is being stripped away from you in some sort of way, and you need to let it go. This full moon happens today, June 11th at 3:44 a.m. Eastern, 5:44 a.m. Mountain time, and it's happening at 20 degrees Sagittarius. So, I gotta hit you with the Handsy Zanzy Inside Degrees by Elias Lonsdale. So, let's go ahead and get that reading underway. Interesting. All right. So, Elias Lonsdale's description of the 20th degree of Sagittarius is the changing of water into wine. Hydrate, light it if you need it. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and pray. Clear out any funky ass energy. Welcome in my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth, Holy Spirit, thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for this full moon in Sagittarius 2025. All right, so the changing of water into wine, not wine. The accustomed round of events is a setup and a springboard into what we hope to find we search and strive. The accustomed round of events is a setup and a springboard into what we hope to find when we search and strive. The basic circle of common experience is the indispensable container for miracles to be born. The ongoing continuum of life takes through itself the innovative and the visionary, and offers the arena for the action to reach across to everybody. The ordinary is ecstatic with promise, fertile with worlds beyond. And almost all of it makes itself felt gently and intrinsically, enhancing all budding possibilities and new prophetic of a new hold on sorry enhancing all budding possibilities and prophetic of a new earth to be inhabited every day in full sense embrace is ravishing part of the mix. Let me read that last sentence again. Enhancing all budding possibilities and prophetic of a new earth to be inhabited every day in full sense embrace is ravishingly part of the mix. Prophetic of a new earth to be inhabited every day in full sense embrace is ravishingly part of the mix. But that first sentence, though, the accustomed round of events is a setup and a springboard into what we hope to find when we search and strive. So, first thing I want to tap into is what is to be released. Full moons are a period of release, full moons are a period of harvest. So, with this full moon in Sagittarius 2025, this is springboarding us into something, catalyzing us into something. Something has happened and it has been a catalyst. An ending of some sort is initiating a catalyst into something else. And so what needs to be released so we can fly off that springboard without dead weight weighing us down? What is to be released during this full moon, Sagittarius? What is to be released? The High Priestess and the World. Interesting. With the Eight of Wands on the bottom of the deck, I feel like what needs to be released is your concept of timing, how fast you think it's supposed to be, the pace that you think you're supposed to be going at. What needs to be released is opposition. What needs to be released is the current cycle of how you exert your physical, spiritual, and sexual energy. What needs to be released is secrecy, the old cycle in your spirituality, the old cycle of your spiritual practices, the old cycle of your spiritual life. What needs to be released is possibly somebody with Cancer, Capricorn, or Aquarius placements. Maybe even Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo placements. What needs to be released is the old cycle. It's been completed. And there's this new understanding that's coming in. Please clarify the High Priestess when it comes to what we need to be releasing. The old, like how you used to spend time in spirit. I feel like you had a spiritual practice and now it's time to take things to the next level in some sort of way. Or you had a certain amount of me time that you would have, and now it's time to complete that cycle. Like there's something there. What needs to be released? It may be somebody that's very spiritual, maybe somebody that you are struggling to make a decision about. It could be something long distance. It could be releasing someone that was at a distance from you, releasing something that you thought was protected, an outdated source of protection. Please clarify the High Priestess in regards to what we need to release this full moon in Sagittarius. Please clarify the High Priestess. Black and white thinking. Ooh. The Six of Pentacles reversed. Some of us were in a place where we were sacrificing our spiritual life for the breadcrumbs that somebody was giving us. Like you were just so hungry for the breadcrumbs that you forgot your hunger for God. You were so hungry for the breadcrumbs that this person was giving you, or that this job was giving you, that you forgot your spiritual practice, or you forgot your creativity, or you forgot to invest in yourself, especially if they have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or Libra, or Cancer placements. I feel like there's something here about you sacrificed some quality time with the divine. You sacrificed quality time with yourself for this job, for this person, for this thing that was beneath you in some sort of way, for this thing that it's like you're giving me scraps, you're not giving me a meal. I'm worthy of a fucking meal. I am a meal. You know what I mean? There's something there around that. I also feel like a decision-making process is coming up to be released, like an old way of making decisions. I feel like the tables are turning, like what you used to invest your time, your money, your energy into. You were investing your time, your energy, and money into something that I feel like was going against your intuition, or your intuition was like, why are you accepting that? Why are you allowing that? Why are you only giving this much? Why are you only, allowing yourself to be this seen, or to be this generous, or to be this committed, or to be whatever it is, to be this loyal? Like there's something there around like why were you allowing yourself to receive so little when your spirit was telling you that more was in store? Your spirit was telling you that you deserved more. Your spirit was trying to tell you that this isn't the level of investment you should be accepting in some sort of way. That's going to be different for everybody. Eat the meat, leave the bones. Please clarify the world in regards to what needs to be released for this full moon in Sagittarius. Ooh. The Hierophant the Seven of Pentacles, and the Hangman. Some of us were in limbo around commitment or around going to school or starting a new job or teaching or mentoring, becoming a moral authority. I feel like some of us were going against our morals or going against our values. Some of us were in a place where, for something that was in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. There's something there around like releasing this old comprehension of commitment or marriage or togetherness, or traditions or values or religion. Some of us had invested into a certain mindset, invested in ourselves into commitment, invested yourself into a Taurus, invested in yourself into becoming a mentor or a teacher or a guide or something, and something held you up, something was keeping you stuck, something brought in stagnation. With the Hangman coming out, it was almost like, I know I want to invest in these things, I know that I want to experience this, but there's this holdup, and the holdup was your self-worth. I feel like some of you were taking better care of another person's emotions than you were yours. Some of you were sacrificing yourself for the sake of something else. And I feel like the divine has come in and cut off the dead weight. You were protecting something that was actually just supposed to be a lesson. And now I feel like the lesson is coming up to be learned. All right, so my next question is, what outdated understanding is to be released? Sagittarius is the sign of I understand. It's about higher learning. It's about philosophies. It's about long distance travel. That could have been the world. Releasing that long distance travel or the long distance relationship, the commute, that job that you are thinking about making this commute to, or traveling for this. If there's something there around like traveling or moving and your intuition is like, bit, what are you doing? What, like, if your intuition is blaring at you, your, or fears blaring at you, there's just something there around like, don't go full force into making these decisions, and your gut, your spirit is telling you something else. You keep hearing your spirit talk to you about that thing, and you think it's going to bring you completion, but it's not. It was meant to bring you a lesson. It was meant to complete a cycle, but it wasn't. I just feel like there's something there around, you've been so protected. You are so much more protected than you realize that you are. The rejection is your protection. What outdated understanding needs to be released? The Magician with the Four of Swords reversed. I feel like some of us have forgotten quite a bit about like who we are. What outdated understanding is to be released? It's something in the realm of your mind. I feel like there was someone that's very charming, someone that could possibly be a trickster or a liar, or omitted the truth or didn't tell you the whole truth. Something that had you at, you weren't at peace with it, with the Four of Swords reversed. It may involve somebody with Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Libra, or Aquarius placements. I feel like this concept of oneness, this understanding of yourself, this awareness of your magic. I feel like some of us then fucked around and forgot who we were, forgot our magic, made ourselves small in some sort of way. Please clarify the Magician. When it comes to the outdated understanding that needs to be released, some of you forgot you have everything that you need. Some of us forgot that the objective is oneness, not a couple. It's like you coming into the fullness of who you are, you understanding who you are. It required this outdated mindset or this outdated foundation in the realm of your mind to be released, and a lack of peace was the, like, there's something there where like you couldn't get peace. about something, or you couldn't have peace. You couldn't operate on yourself this way. You couldn't be by yourself, or you couldn't do this by yourself or on your own in some sort of way, and it wasn't giving you peace. Please clarify the Magician. I also feel like there's this understanding of how to keep your heart open, who to keep your heart open to, who to open your heart to. A lack of an open heart, possibly. Being too caught up in the mind, not accessing your logic and your intuition before you make a decision. All of that shit is coming up to be released. It's outdated. And there's something about operating from this place of magic, operating from this place of understanding that all is of the mind, all is mental. And I feel like some of us were in our head way too much and not in our heart. Please clarify the Magician. It's like you were letting your mind fuel what you harnessed your willpower into. And it was disruptive in some sort of way. I hope that this makes sense. Please clarify the Magician. Judgment. Some of you had an old, it's like you saw this person this one way, especially if they have Gemini, Virgo, or Scorpio placements. I feel like you saw this thing, this situation, this person in a very specific way, like you were blinded in a way, or you had blinders on in some sort of way. And then the trumpet of truth was sounding and you had to get off the fence. You had to make a decision about something. Or a confrontation happened, an argument happened, a big discussion. Please continue to clarify the Magician. Okay, the outdated understanding had to do with you choosing your mind over your spirit. That's what's coming up to be released. This thing of like, it has to make sense, it has to be logical, versus you receiving information from the divine, you receiving the aha moment, you receiving the order of operations. I feel like a lot of us have been caught up in ego, caught up in control, caught up in our emotions, and not realizing that the divine has been trying to give us a specific kind of freedom. I feel like you've been called to freedom and exploring what freedom is to you. You know, Sagittarius is a sign of freedom. And where you were so attached, I feel like now there's freedom. Please clarify the Four of Swords reverse. The Page of Cups reverse. I feel like there had to have been, for some of us, like a breakup, a loss of emotion, a loss of feeling, a numbness, an apology that you're hoping that comes in that won't come in, a need to forgive yourself, a need to connect to your inner child and provide forgiveness and acceptance towards them, giving that general healing to your inner child, that attention, that awareness to your inner child, spending time with your inner child. Some of us were opting for like law of attraction and, you know, trying to optimize your mind versus actually like praying and doing the work in the spirit and stillness and silence and meditation. It's like eyes wide open and pursuing everything versus going inward. And I feel like that is what's being released. Okay, so what new understanding is to be adopted? For our greatest and highest good, what new understanding needs to be adopted? The Lovers and the World. Understanding we are here to connect, we are not here to attach. The new understanding is like being willing to communicate, being willing to learn the lessons from the old cycle. There's, see all this nakedness, all this nudity. I feel like there's something here around understanding new levels of intimacy. Um, Understanding that your relationship to the God of your understanding, that needs to be first. Your relationship to your higher self, your relationship to yourself needs to be the number one priority. There is no healthy me. There is no healthy we without a healthy me. There is no healthy interdependence without healthy independence. And this new understanding is like, you are so protected in your intimacy. Just strive for that intimacy with the God of your understanding first. Before, it's like a lot of us are hungry for this external intimacy, for this external, for a coupling, for being in a relationship. And what we're actually hungry for is the divine. What we're actually hungry for is protection. I feel like there's this understanding, there's a new protection that's coming in. There may be somebody with Gemini, Virgo, Leo, Capricorn, or Aquarius placements coming in that's going to help us adopt this new understanding. I feel like there's new understandings around love and relationships. Please clarify the lovers. Understanding sometimes we get to a crossroads and we have to choose to, take care of ourselves. Sometimes people choose protection and choose to take care of themselves over protecting the relationship or the connection. I also feel like the new understanding that needs to be adopted is that, like, love is not all rainbows and puppy cats and sunshine. The lovers encompasses the treachery of love and romance and relationships. That there is a full circle here when it comes to love and romance and relationships. When it comes to communication, I feel like it's time to communicate to the God of your understanding what it is that you want. Please clarify the lovers. The Six of Swords. Some of you, I feel like somebody's going to come back around. There's a need to understand, like, this thing isn't full circle yet. Something's coming back around. Something is going to experience completion, but there is this moving towards harmony in the realm of the mind, moving toward, like, turning your back on situations that you know you shouldn't be in anymore, getting out of situations that you know your ass shouldn't be in anymore. Especially if it involves somebody with Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or Leo placements. I feel like slowly and steadily that air sign is going to come back around. Slowly and steadily, it's like everybody, and they come back around, and I feel like you'll be very guarded, or they come back and they have a lot of guarding up, or a lot of, like, self-protection. I feel like we're not understanding. Okay. The new understanding that is to be adopted is, how you gonna have all this fucking love and you all bound up, guarded up, armored up. When it comes to love and relationships, when it comes to connection, we need to be naked, we need to be vulnerable, we need to be willing and open and intimate, not all fucking armored up. If you can't show up vulnerable, what's the point? What are we doing? What's the point? Go work on getting that armor off. I won't be able to access the fullness of you with all this fucking armor on. And I feel like some of you are starting to understand that. Some of you are moving towards armoring up after some pain, and that's not the answer. Please clarify the world. Actually, no, please, one more for the lovers, please. Please continue talking about the Fool. There's a whole new start. I feel like there's a whole new person. Like, something has happened and it's developing a whole new person, a whole new personality is coming out, a whole new access. Like, there's this emotional baggage that's being offloaded, and you're moving towards faith. I feel like a lot of us are being, like, propelled into a more faith-based life versus a fear-based life. And this is the part of the cycle that's completing. Please clarify the world. There's all this new potential. The Five of Pentacles, the Hangman, and Temperance reversed. this cycle of abandonment wounds, of fear, of like holding on to things that you know are dead, holding on to connections and relationships that you know are stagnant or are keeping you stuck, that hang up that you had about that person with Pisces or Sagittarius placements, that hang up that you had, or that worthiness issue that was initiated by that person with Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements. This fear about being juggled. Some of you were like, "Oh, I thought you were my soulmate. I thought that we were doing this. I thought that this was concrete. I've invested so much. I have so much value put into this." I feel like there's a an ending of a cycle. Like we're about to learn some pretty big lessons. We are in the midst of learning some really, really big lessons around our mind, how we use our mind, the power of our mind, the way that your mind steals from you, the way that fear is chosen over faith, the way that you visualize the worst thing possible and then it ends up happening. You create these self-fulfilling prophecies, understanding that mind over matter is magic. We do magic. There's something there around like understanding worrying about it is praying for it, like what you've been visualizing and putting all your energy into. I feel like for a lot of you it it came true. Like you're starting to see the power of your mind, you're starting to see like the power of your or your ability to manifest. Some of us, our worst fears have come true, and you're realizing because you were sitting there like hyper fixated and focused on it, and you materialized it into your 3D reality. And now that it's happened, you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. I've endured worse, actually. Especially if it involves abandonment or feeling left out or feeling or getting fired or something of that nature. Some of you are really stuck, just feeling really stuck in this place of unworthiness. Please, what's the advice for those who are still stuck in that place of unworthiness? Understand that you're being held in an uncomfortable position so you can see from a different vantage point, so you can see what got you here. Those of you who are still stuck in abandonment, that's because you're still fighting against the tide. You're still fighting against the divine order of things. Some of us are stuck in that place of unworthiness because it's like, I'd rather have the breadcrumbs than nothing. And the divine is like, why are you out here eating breadcrumbs? I'm trying to give you a fucking meal. I'm trying to give you a meal. And that meal may involve somebody with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements. But it's going to require you to break out of that old understanding, that old mindset that was betraying you and stealing from you, and establishing new habits, establishing understanding like shit's getting real. You're being forced to reinvent yourself in a very specific way. And the catalyst was pain. The catalyst was you not getting what it is that you wanted and having to move forward. But something good is coming. Someone sweet, one is coming in to replenish you. It may be a friend, it may be romantic. But I feel like there's a new friend group. There's a new connection that's showing you where you dropped the ball, how you dropped the ball in love, how you dropped the ball in relationships, how you sacrificed what could have been a really happy ending for breadcrumbs in some sort of way. That's not for all of you, but there is something there around like, oh, I thought that this was what I wanted. I thought that this was how it should have been. I thought that this was recovery for me. I thought that this was the best way for me to recover, for me to behave. I thought this was the best way for me to treat this person. The issue is you thought. You didn't intuit about it. You didn't talk to God about it. You didn't talk to your spirit about it. You didn't connect. You didn't access that spiritual side of yourself. Or some of you are fucking around with people who don't have the ability to access that aspect of themselves, or are uninterested in accessing that aspect of themselves. Stay the fuck from around me. Let it go. If you're already operating on a certain spiritual level, that's the whole part of being unequally yoked. Like, how the fuck am I a spiritual leader and I'm dating somebody who doesn't believe in spirit. That's just asking for heartbreak. All right. Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth, Holy Spirit, do you have any messages for us for this full moon in Sagittarius? What do you need to say? What do you need to have us see? What messages, Source, do you have for us this full moon in Sagittarius? What do you have to say? The Knight of Swords. There is a radical shift of the mind. There is a turnaround. There may be somebody with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements that you've been fighting with, and I feel like they have a shift of thought. They may be coming in or coming towards you, and you may not expect that. Some of you are in a place of, I feel like, having this radical shift of the mind, and it's ignited you. It's like putting you in motion. It's having you. There's like something that happened that I feel like generated this mental catalyst, and you're ready to go to war. You're ready to stand up for yourself. You're ready to say what you like. You're not afraid to be yourself anymore. You're not afraid to say what needs to be said. I feel like for some of us, like our worst fear, what we didn't want to happen, happened, and now you've been set free in some sort of way. Hydrate. And now you're able to operate in a different level of authority or operate in a different level of authenticity. And I feel like you're learning when is an appropriate time to wear your armor. I also feel like someone is coming in for you. Like someone is going to be pursuing you. Someone is going to be chasing you. Someone is coming towards you. Please continue, Spirit. What messages do you have for us in regards to this full moon in Sagittarius 2025? The Hierophant flipped over, and then the Chariot reversed. I just feel like your concept of commitment, your concept of marriage, your concept of tradition, your concept of religion is being halted or being redirected in some sort of way. Someone is running away from commitment, not towards it. Someone is Page of Cups and then the King of Wands. I just want one more. There's a lot of people out here, or three. Three court cards are out. Final card, final message, Source. What do you have for us? This full moon, Sagittarius. The Nine of Pentacles. Sovereignty, independence. With the Ten of Pentacles reversed on the bottom of the deck. So I do feel like there's something there around an outdated source of stability. Oh, Saturn and Aries is going to be revealing like false sources of stability. You put all your eggs in this basket and it's not a basket you should have. Like false senses of security are falling away. Your mind, this person with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements are going in a different direction. Like they're going away from commitment or tradition, or they're just going in a different direction than you realize. And I feel like somebody new is coming in, some new opportunity, some new offer, something that feels youthful and fun and like on this quest of love for life. If you have Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements, I feel like you are about to be courted or you are about to receive love. You're about to receive an offer. I feel like there may be somebody a little bit younger than you, maybe not as accomplished as you. Somebody sees your spark. Somebody sees your charm. Somebody sees your magic. And I feel like a lot of us are going to end up choosing ourselves either way. Please clarify the Knight of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles. There's a radical shift of the mind when it comes to how you take care of yourself, your level of self-worth, your work ethic. A radical shift of the mind. I feel like also this person with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements starts to understand your value more, or is going to be seeing your value, or they see their value. They may be choosing their value, prioritizing themselves. What's the advice for those dealing with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placement people? Please give us the advice. The Lovers. Don't be afraid to communicate. I feel like you're at a crossroads, they're at a crossroads. Intimacy is needed, vulnerability is needed. There could just be the Wheel of Fortune. There is a big change. There is a turning point in that connection with that person with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements. And I do feel like that turning point, it's going to require honest, authentic, real transparency and vulnerability. Also, someone may start to date somebody sooner than you realize, or sooner than you thought. Somebody may, get into a relationship a lot faster, or start, spreading their wild oats or whatever more than, like sooner than you thought that they would. Please clarify the Hierophant. Some of us, I feel like you're having a radical shift around school or education, or maybe your child is going in a different direction professionally than you thought. Maybe you are going a different direction. There could just be something there around a very unconventional lesson. Yeah, the Four of Pentacles reversed. Getting out of this place of scarcity and lack. I feel like some of us wanted commitment, loyalty, or devotion because there was a lack mentality or a scarcity mentality, a fear that you wouldn't get what is yours, or you wouldn't get what was owed to you. And so you were stressing yourself out, trying to control situations, trying to control an outcome versus initiating a new relationship with yourself and being transformed. Please clarify the Chariot reversed. What does that mean? I feel like for a long time we denied looking at the dark side of this, or looking at our shadow, or looking at how we really felt. There could just be an issue or feeling like a blockage in motion or momentum forward. I feel like there's something here about redirecting your mindset from just like commitment and love and studying and like education or being a moral authority. There's just like a shift in direction around that. The Knight of Wands and the Six of Swords with the Sun on the bottom of the deck. We're being rerouted. Some of you are turning your back on how fast you go into things, how quickly decisions are made. If you have Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements, I feel like you are moving towards a transformation, or moving towards someone with Scorpio placements. They're coming in to transform your life, or they will be transforming you or your life in some sort of way. There could be something about turning your back on a situation that you shouldn't be in anymore, moving towards harmony, turning your back on this Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius person, getting back into being bold and courageous and like tapping into this quest of love for life. What's the advice for those dealing with a Taurus? Someone with Taurus placements with a Hierophant. I'll say Taurus or Libra. 9 of Cups, 8 of Cups. Like wish fulfillment coming in, a new stability, closing out an old cycle of emotions that is going to enable you to get out of your comfort zone and move and go quick and like transform. Some of you, I feel like, um you're pursuing your dreams. You're getting out of your comfort zone when it comes to that Taurus. So that person, there may have involve a move. There's something in regards to commitment or school that requires a move and requires you getting back to this place of independence. I feel like a lot of us had maybe fallen into codependency or fallen into obsession or obsessive thoughts or fear or lack or scarcity. What's the advice for those dealing with people with Cancer placements with the Chariot reverse? That person with Cancer placements, I feel like they're a little lost right now. They're in recovery, they're healing. There's still a lot of hope around this. There's still a lot of redirection. Um, but again, the answer is intimacy. It keeps going back to this vulnerability, this nakedness that's required. Just because the decision has been made doesn't mean that it's set in stone. I just feel like there's something here that's like things aren't as they seem. What do we need to be putting our energy into with this Knight of Cups? The Ten of Swords. Putting your energy into getting that victimized version of you out of the driver's seat. Putting your energy into rebirth, into resurrection, into understanding that the light of day is getting ready to push out the darkness of night in your life. Things are about to get better. Hydrate. I know it gets better. Please clarify this King of Wands. Who that? There may be somebody with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius placements that I feel like is coming on strong. You're still confused about them. They're still confused. Maybe they're just an option. I feel like there's something about getting breadcrumbs or giving somebody breadcrumbs. This feels confusing. I feel like there's too many cooks in the kitchen. That could be a thing too. It's just like, what's going on with like how many people you're entertaining, how many people you're talking to, what is your concept of loyalty, commitment, marriage, togetherness. I just feel like also some of you are like, I can do battle by myself. I'll do this shit by myself. Please clarify the Nine of Pentacles. I also feel like those of you who are single, you're getting ready to learn the difference between a knight and a king. And I feel like some of you are just like, oh, I don't want a knight and I'm down for a king, but not a king that behaves like that or that wants to give just that. Like there's something there around I know what I'm fucking worth. I know what I'm worth and I'm going to demand that worth be met. I'm going to I'm going to only accept being treated as something that is valued. I just got a flash of this meme that has been like blaring in my head. It's like, handle me like you prayed for me. Handle me like you've been wishing for me. If somebody doesn't handle you like they've been praying or wishing for you, don't be a groupie. Keep it fucking moving. Because something new will come in and you won't have to be all defensive and guarded and like in this place of self-protection. I feel like there is a new love, a new connection that comes in as you're getting back on your feet, especially if you have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements. Please clarify this Ace of Cups. I feel like there's this influx of love, connection, sweetness, romance. The the Wheel of Fortune and the King of Cups reversed. I feel like when this new thing comes in, you may be quite untrusting of it, or there could be somebody that is sad or depressive. They may have like a sad or depressive side. They may be a gambler. They may have some stuff with addiction, especially if they have Sagittarius or Pisces placements. There is something here around it's almost like this soft cushion that you have to land on. I feel like in this this new level of independence that you're experiencing for yourself, the divine is bringing in help, bringing in restoration. The light of the sun is pushing out the darkness. I love you. You got this. Of course, my mic is, or my remote's not